What is going on, everyone? It's your boy Ethan. Hope you're having a great day. Welcome to the video again, and this is a special one because it's the very first video from my St. Martin trip where I went and played the WSOP tournaments. But before we get into the video and all that excitement, I have a really cool announcement I've been dying to share with you guys. I have this huge ass box to my left, and just imagine it says luck slapped right on it somehow. I'm doing a mystery luck box merch drop, brand new, and there's a lot to unpack here. So if you purchase one of these, it's a mystery box, so you'll get one of the 4 last hoodies designed. You get the Folding is Boring, the Bink City, the Luck Box merch that everyone really loved, and the last and final one releasing just today. I'm going to call it the Rampage Collection, where it's a simple, sleek design here. You can get white on white lettering, black on black, or this is my personal favorite, a white hoodie with the red silicone lettering here. I'm a big fan of how these turned out. It's simple, it's sleek, it's something that I just wanted to rep and wear, super comfortable. So if you purchase one of these, you'll get a random assortment of one of the last 4 designs I've created so far. So if you haven't had one of the old hoodies, this is a chance to do so. On top of that, you also get one of the 4 random card protectors along with it as well. So it's a mystery box of merch. And you're wondering, why is there luck slapped on it? Because there's more. The reason why it's called a mystery luck box is because in 10 random luck box packages and orders, there will be golden tickets randomly assorted in the orders here. So there's going to be 10 winners, and basically, if you win one of these, I'm giving $1,000 to you. I'm giving away $10,000 to people who buy merch, and yeah, from the cost of how much one of these hoodies are, I'm giving you $1,000 and $10,000 to people who support the channel the most, so I really appreciate that. It's going to be just random. All you have to do when you get one of these will also be numbered and signed and with a quick little message on them. Send a selfie to me if you receive one of these. I'm looking forward to announcing the winners on the channel. I'll give you the $1,000, and maybe I'll do something special for all 10 winners as well. Maybe some sort of meetup or something like that. I'm really looking forward to it. So these mystery luck boxes are available in the link down in the description below, silverscreendesign.com. So I appreciate all the support, and I'm a big fan of these new hoodies. If you want to grab one of these individually, feel free, you can as well. But to qualify for the golden ticket winners, get the box. I'm looking forward to seeing the selfies and announcing the winners and giving away $10,000. Thank you for making this thing a reality, and let's get into the video where we go to St. Martin. Our very first tournament here in St. Martin starts off in level 6. Blinds are 200, 400, 400, and I have 14,000 in my stack, and I pick up 10-8 offsuit in the big blind. There's a low jack open to 1100 and onto me here with an unsuited 1-gapper. I decided to make the call and see a flop. Going to a flop of 984. He doesn't have too many chips in stack, so here flopping a pair. Definitely just going to commit stacks in. I check, he bets out 2200, and with about 7600 in the stack, I decide to go all in. He quickly makes the call with pocket jacks, which is not good, drawing pretty slim here on this board, and jacks ends up winning. I lose half of my stack here, so nice, lovely start to the session, and I'm down to about 7,000 in my stack as well. Moving on to the next level, we pick up 2 cards that are the same number, pocket 7s and +1 with a small stack. I raise it up to 1,200 here in this spot with about 20 big blinds to play for. We get the low jack to make the call, then the small blind goes all in for about 16,000. He obviously covers me, and with my pair and short stack, there's no time to waste here. I'm snap calling this all in, and surprisingly, the low jack player who called my 1,200 makes the call as well. So not looking good, thinking that I'm dead here, but to my surprise, I'm up against Ace King and Ace Queen. I am a favorite to win this hand right now, and when the flop comes a 7, that is going to seal the deal. Turn 7. Another 7 for quads. Crazy to hit a full triple up in this spot. Although we started this tournament losing half of our chip stack, we end up tripling up and making quads. That's one way to have a highlight reel early on in this tournament. After finding a full triple up, things are going well. I pick up 7-4 of diamonds in the big blind. Action folds around to the small blind player who limps in for 500. Seems like he's the passive type. And because of that, this is a good hand to double down in blackjack. I decided to 3x his limp. I raise up to 1,500, playing in position. He decides on a call. So we're going to a flop of 10 deuce deuce rainbow. He checks blind in the dark here, and given that,
don't think he's going to have too strong of a holding. I decided to bet 800. And for 800, he snap calls, so that's not a great sign. But when the turn is the 3 of diamonds, he checks dark again. Confused about what he's doing here, and I'm just gonna go for pure aggression, hoping to fold out whatever he's holding. I bet out 2200, and again, he makes the call, so maybe he can have a 10? Unsure, but when the river comes an ace, he checks in the dark for a 3rd time, and this is either the worst or best card for me. Worst as in if he was calling with ace high, now he has top pair. Best card is that if he was calling with a 10, then I'm going to bluff and hopefully get him to fold his pair. Anyways, I decide to blast off 3700 and he quickly calls with ace 4. So that's a bummer. After a big triple up, I punt off some chips and I'm back down to 22,000 in stack. Skipping level 8, we're moving on to level 9 here. I pick up ace 10 offsuit in the hijack and raise it up to 1800. The button makes the call with like 70,000 in his stack, so definitely covers the table with all his chips. Maybe he can give us some much needed chips here. We're going to a flop of 10 high all clubs. Flopping top, not a bad spot to be in. I decide to bet out 1300 and he decides on a call. So we're building a pot at least, and when the turn comes a complete brick, doesn't change the card at all. I decided to bet 5700 and pretty quickly he puts me all in and I snap call, but freeze. Let's talk about why all of this action happened so quickly. I'm betting on the turn here for value as I have a good top pair, and I think that most players aren't going to be folding their strong draws or even pairs in general. And when he puts me all in, I am not folding because I think all 2 pair plus holdings will raise in the flop, and I've got to assume that top pair, top picker is good here. I don't expect to be up against anything better, so for my tournament life, I beat him to the pot, I make the call, and as expected, I'm ahead. He has 10-8 of hearts. We just got to fade an 8 on the river. River is a 9. It's really close for the dealer to screw me here, but I find a huge double up here. I have about 22,000 in my stack to start, and now up to about 44,000 in stack.
Little break time right now. End of late reg. I'm with my buddy. With my buddy Wolfgang. How many buy-ins you in for?
This would be number 4. I was saying I probably was gonna do it, but now I have to because he's flaming me on camera.
The Rampage tournament poker course.
Yeah, and for my video, I need to like get more content.
Got a
so
max
we're
rebuy.
sending it.
I'm glad.
It's a pretty tough
Let's
field
go.
though.
You're in.
It's like me, you, and a bunch of 100 other pros from Europe.
Seems like it. Yeah. Big last hand. That was good. Over 40,000, and somehow won the first bullet.
Okay, I'm gonna go rebuy right
So
now.
he's gonna go rebuy, and I'm gonna go take the next 10 minutes of break right now to chill, get the notes down for this hand because you have no idea like how hard it is to freaking take notes of tournaments because hands just go back to back to back, and that was a good one. So that's all I got. Little update here. Things have been going smoothly. There's been a lot of hands that you didn't see, a lot of random all-ins that I've been doing because a lot of people are folding. So yeah, I'm in for the first bullet, which is crazy. It's actually a crazy turnout. Over 42,000 in the prize pool for a $250 buy-in. 214 entries. Wolfgang's being at 215 entries, as you can see here. And I'm looking forward to how this tournament goes. There's some really big stacks to my left. Yeah, the person that doubled me up had like 70K in his stack, which was crazy for this stage of the tournament. But for now, gonna go for that ring. Hopefully just run deep, try to run it up. Wish us luck. All right, look at who we have to my right.
You convinced me to play,
Fantastic.
and then I, of course, get a seat.
All right, one of these hands will be all mine.
Oh, look, I got the chip card.
Progressing after break. Here at level 10, I pick up pocket 3s in the hijack and raise it up to 2,500. Folds around to the small blind player who goes all in for a short stack of 8,500. When the big blind folds, I'm a little bit annoyed because I don't think the player pool here is going to be jamming besides with premiums. But for less than 9 big blinds, I have to call, and I am shown bad news, pocket 10s. The flop comes, the turn gives me some chop outs, but river, nope, so close, but I pay him his 8,500. I chip down in an unfortunate way, down to about 30,000. Time to grind it back, but unfortunately, after the next series of small pots, I chip down to about 22,000 and a little bit card dead as we enter level 11. I pick up ace jack of clubs in the cutoff. This seems like a perfect hand to jam as the +1 player raises up the action to 3,000. And with how short stacked I am and the blinds level ever increasing, I have an easy all-in. Action folds to the +1 player who watches the channel. Shout out to you, Rama. And I actually saw him at the resort earlier in the day, and he makes the call with pocket aces. Well, GG's to our tournament run. We gave it a good try. The flop comes queen high, so not too many backdoor draws, not looking great, but the turn 10 of clubs, holy shit. All the backdoors are now live. Any king, any club, river, bank, club. So gross to suck out. Definitely feels bad to Rama, who took a pretty sick beat really well. He has piles of chips, so he's not really sweating my short stack, and I'm happy to double up in a disgusting way to suck aces, going runner, clubs, and binking. Pretty nice situation to be in as I find a double up, and there are 60 players left in this tournament.
All right, everyone, mid-session update time. It's late. It's like 2, 3 o'clock in the morning right now, and there's 53 players left. 27 make the money. Turns out we're going to be playing until we make the money, then we'll play day 2 when everyone makes the money. These are all supposed to be one-day events, but yeah, they all start relatively late, and now super late into the night. We've been playing for a little bit, and we're like, I guess we need to cut down the field in half to make the money. I have a really short stack. Blind's gonna be 1K, 2K, and I'm gonna have like 30K in stack. So we'll see. The suck out with Ace Jack was sick. And yeah, got like 30,000 and just in need of a double up to survive, I guess. We'll see how it goes. Keep you guys updated, but need some run good. But yeah, we've been playing for a while. Just kind of trying to get some sleep at this point, but we'll grind it out.
The first hand from break, I chip down again to about 30,000 and drama continues. I pick up ace king offsuit in the big blind. There's a cutoff player who has a massive chip lead over the table, raises to 7,000. Action folds to me. I am going to make an easy all-in with a very good hand. I jam about 15 big blinds, and he calls with ace-jack. So if we can crack pocket aces in a well-dominated situation, we should be able to win this one dominated as well. We're going to a flop which comes queen-jack high, but all hearts. So I'm rooting for any king, any 10, any heart. We could win this one. Turn comes a queen. Not great, but river, heart, once again, dirty rivers bailing me out, and I find another full double up. I'm still alive with 30 big blinds and a dream now. My chip stack is now at 84,000 after chipping up in a small pots. There are 38 players left and over $10,000 for first place. That would be a sick way to start this trip off. This next hand we're going to go over gets a little dicey. I pick up Jack 10 offsuit in the big blind. There's a hijack player who raises to 6,500. Action folds to me, and with 2 offsuit Broadway cards, happy to make the call here. My read on this hijack player is that he's not going to play that many hands, and he might be more of the passive and tight type. Anyways, going to a flop of king, queen, 6, 2 clubs. I start with a check on a king high flop. He bets 10,000. And okay, this is a pretty large bet considering the size of the pots. And I'm a little bit annoyed because I'm out of position, and with my open-ended draw, I just wish I was a little bit more priced in to hit it. Anyways, I have the jack of clubs, which could be relevant on later streets as I could rep some flush draws if they come. But this player covers me, and because of his larger sizing, I'm leaning more towards a small check raise versus just a call. And thinking about it, I am going to go for it. I size up to 24,000, and upon this raise, he goes all in. Not what I wanted to hear. And look, could I ever really check raise a third of my stack and fold? Is this check raise a massive punt to begin with? And honestly, the more I think about it and how miserable I am in this spot, the more I believe that this was really unfortunate and quite the punt. Look, there are 37 players left in this tournament. I have 48,000 behind, and I can certainly gamble and make the call here, hoping to hit an ace or a 9 to give me the lead. And for sure, winning this pot would certainly give me the chip lead as well, which would be really important. But anyways, I think about it forever in this spot, and ultimately figure out that I'm actually relatively priced into call. I just put myself in a terrible spot. But I decide against it and just let my 24,000 in chips go. I fold and not want to make the gamble for my tournament life with Jack high. Upon my fold, I hear him on the other side of the table say he had ace king. So he definitely had one of my outs, and that's not great to hear. Safe to say he probably just gets my stack if he just makes the call instead of 3-bet jamming. But alas, I put myself in a miserable spot, and my chip stack is down to 48,000. Okay, chipping down a bit, but on the comeback trail, I pick up ace-10 offsuit under the gun and raise it up to 5,500. Action folds to the big blind player, another person I would consider to be on the tighter side of poker. He makes the call with a short stack. Off to a flop of jack 9-7 to spades. He checks it over to me, and okay. I have an overcard and not much going for me. I decide to check you back to hopefully hit my gut shot, which comes the 8 of clubs, Bank City once again. And even better, music to my ears, he reaches for chips and bets out 65,000. He's got about 20,000 behind left in his stack, and we got there, basically holding the second nuts, or the effective nuts. I decided to put him all in this spot because I have a strong hand. Let's go for value, and expecting him to make the call pretty quickly, but he does not do that. He takes his time and he tanks. Upon this tank, I'm just praying for a call. We want action, obviously, as I have a really good hand. But sadly, he ends up folding, so maybe I pushed away all that action. I'm putting myself into some terrible spots and not getting called when I want to be, so I don't know, maybe some soul reads, maybe I'm just playing bad. But no need to worry, because moving on to the next hand, I pick up ace-queen offsuit in the small blind. There's an under the gun open to 6,000, folds to the player to my right, the player who I would say is on the tighter side. He jams his 21,000 in his stack. Of here, I'm sitting with about 25 big blinds in my stack, playing out of position against everyone. Easy rejam spot again, and everyone folds, and of course, the button has ace-king. Ah, annoying. He jams such a small amount and of course has a nut premium hand. My read was right, he was tight, and here we are, a little frustrated at this spot, but ace-king as a heavy favorite to win ends up taking it down. I double him up, I chip down to about 57,000, and time to try to rebuild from losing this hand. Following that spot, still with about 57,000 in stack, and I have jack 9 of spades in the low jack. I raise it up to 3,000, just a min raise here because I have under 20 big blinds in stack. And we get action from the big blind, who has a big stack here. We're going to a flop of king 10-9, 2 clubs. He checks it over to me, and I have one of two options, which is a check, or I could bet with a gut shot straight draw and bottom pair. I decided to check this one, and we're going to a turn which is an 8. Now, this turn doesn't really change a whole lot, but he decides to bet out 10,000. I have a pair, I have a draw, I'm in here, I'm not folding, I make the call. The river comes another 8, so run 8 here. This board doesn't really change a whole lot, and I'm praying for him to check. He ends up checking, snap check this one back, and he shows board. 3-4 of diamonds playing the board here. My pair of 9s is going to take it, and look, this hand might not seem super significant from a grand scheme of things, but in real time, this was a must-win hand. This one's fun, as it's announced that this is going to be the very last hand of the night before bagging up for day 2. I have ace-queen offsuit, I raise under the gun, and see a small stack all in. He has pocket 6s, I have ace-queen, let's go to a race, a classic flip, and I flop the complete world. Got too many outs to count, actually. The turn, bink, no sweat at all. We get there on the turn and win this hand. Nice to stack an opponent and add more chips to my stack. It's getting pretty late. Let's bag and tag. Let's go to the outro and see you on day 2.
All right, just bagged and tagged. It's late. It's 4 a.m. We'll be back at it tomorrow in less than 12 hours. I have some activities planned, going ATVing, so that's gonna be fun. I've got a long day ahead of me tomorrow, but bagged up 102,000. It's nice to chip up those last 2 hands, and I'll be back close to 30 big blinds, maybe. I think there's like 34 players left, 27 make the money, and 33 left, I'm not sure, but we're getting close to the money. That's it. I'm gonna call it a night. It's pretty late, and I'm waking up in 3 hours, so yeah, we'll see how it goes in the next video, or however long I'm gonna be posting this. But yeah, I'm gonna go to bed. I'll keep you guys updated next time. All right, I have made it with like 8 minutes to spare, which is nice. We have some good news to start off. I'm here.
That's number one, and it hasn't started yet. 2 is that there's 31 players left. 4 players need a bust to make the money. Bin cash is like 1.5x the buy-in. Up top is 10.5 thousand. So that'd be cool to start off the trip hot. I've got the luck box run good gear, and we'll see how it goes. So I'm just glad I made it here on time and ready to run it up. 4 players to bust to make the money, and we'll go from there. Might be a quick day, who knows. Okay, let's start off day 2 pretty hot. We're going into this tournament with 28 players left. I have 102,000 in chips, and we're on the stone bubble right now. I am second in chips on the table, and I decided to raise in the hijack with my 6-4 of clubs to 9,000. Action folds around to the big blind player who has a short stack. He makes the call, and I already think that I'm going to win this pot because I'm just going to apply ICM pressure, and everyone's going to fold a lot as we're 1 away from the money. The flop comes ace-7 deuce to diamonds. It doesn't matter what 2 cards I have in my stack. He checked it to me, and I'm just going to bet 6,000 here, hoping to take it down right here, right now, but for 6,000, he's inclined on a call. The turn comes the queen of diamonds, so another card that should be better for me, although the flush draw does get there. He checks, I bet out 18,000, and now he relinquishes his cards. Basically, summary is right now, as long as we're on the stone bubble, I am going to be aggressive. Unfortunately, the next spot, the strategy didn't actually work out. I raised deuce 3 of diamonds and get jammed into by another big stack, so I'm going to lose this one. But moving on to the next hand, I have queen jack offsuit in the small blind. Action folds around to me, and I decide to limp here because the big blind player to my left actually has a larger stack than me. Anyways, I limp, and he actually ends up raising to 13,000. I'm not going anywhere with a playable hand. I call. Going to a flop of queen 6 deuce to spades. Overall, this board should be really good for me, and I start off with a check. He now bets out 13,000, about half pot, and I don't really make much sense of this. Essentially, I just don't think he can have too many strong hands here on this board, and if I were to check raise here in this spot, it's going to be hard for him to continue and make the call unless he has specifically an overpair or the nut flush draw. So it's hard to give credit to overpairs given we're playing blind versus blind, and I decide to make a move. I check raise to 30,000, and yep, running into it. Bad news here, he goes all in. I snap fold because I have queen jack offsuit high. I have nothing going for me. And he's nice enough to show pocket jacks for the vlog, and that's what you call running into it. My read was right, was that he probably won't be able to continue unless he has an overpair, and sadly, he just has that overpair. Anyways, I chip down to about 44,000, and luckily, we see another all-in relatively shortly. 9-3 offsuit versus pocket kings for bursting the bubble. Pocket kings ends up holding, and we are officially in the money. All right, this next hand we're going to go over, I have jack 8 of diamonds in the cutoff with about 11 big blinds in my stack. Action folds to me, and the plan is to jam relatively wide because now we're in the money, and I think most of the players at my table here aren't going to call very wide as well, or at least appropriately. So with this hand, it's an easy all-in according to Poker Coaching's charts, and I decide to go for it. Ends up folding to the big blind player who thinks about it for a while. He doesn't look happy at all, but he ends up finally finding a call with jack 10 of clubs, which I would say is a pretty easy snap call facing an 11 big jam. Anyways, we're totally dominated, but when the flop comes jack 8-7, flopping top 2, but there are 2 clubs on the board. I'm ahead, but I need to fade a lot. The turn looks good, and the river, club, shit. I guess that's fair because we got it in pre-flop really bad, somehow found a really lucky flop, but an unlucky river, and GG's to us in 25th place. I min cash for about $370. I guess that's some profit so far to start off the trip, but we weren't that close to closing this one out. I get paid, and we're going to the outro. Back at the hotel after busting, and it just never feels good busting out of a tournament, min cashing, but overall I can't complain. After the first event, making the money, and Min cashing is, I guess it is what it is. It was nice to have an opportunity and a chance to go for first, and there definitely will be more. I guess starting off the trip to the right foot, but I'm just like never really happy about it. Granted, I'm never really happy about any result when it comes to playing tournaments unless it's number one, and yeah, I don't know. Have a flawed mindset at the very least, but the Jack 8 hand, I looked at it, I looked back. Jack 8's like an easy shove. I thought I was shoving pretty wide, but yeah, apparently it's an easy shove, and Jack 10's a snap call. Just like got really lucky on the flop, really unlucky on the river. Shit happens. We were in for $270 and I was out for $370, so I made a whopping $100 after 2 days of play, essentially. Yeah, something about WSOP payout structures. They pay out a lot, and then it's also super top heavy. So that's all it is. Thanks so much for tuning in. Night one, or event number one of this circuit event series in St. Martin is obviously going good because I'm up money. Certainly could have liked to finish it out, but there'll be more videos to come. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. I'm enjoying the trip here. I'll probably post some personal vlogs about my stay here in St. Martin. So I'm just super blessed and happy to be on this beautiful island and play poker, make videos. It's awesome. So thanks so much for the support. Spread this video to people who you might think would like to watch some poker stuff. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.